So we're here with JT from Greater Good Brewery here, a Worcester brewery, and you are one of the main sponsors of Brew.
Yes.
Coming up this weekend, Saturday at the DCU Center. It's crazy that this is the 10th Brew, because maybe it's only because I can just remember just two of them. The other ones days. I can't really remember. It was a good time. But this is I always like to say this is a great event. If you are intimidated or overwhelmed walking into a package store looking to get into craft brews, this is a great event to come and start sampling everything and find out what you like. Right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you can find your new favorite beer here, and you can try a bunch of styles that maybe you hadn't even known existed in the past. And then you can always go find your favorites that you know you like. So it's a very wide spread that they'll have here at Brew. Every year I find something new that, that I like. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of our friends in the beer industry back again for, it's been 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been because of the pandemic,
Yep.
and so it's nice to be able to get in a room and sample like crazy. Two sessions, right? You get 2 sessions. It's 1 to 4, 6 to 9. Thank you, John Lahair from the DCU Center. That's I know, right? This is a great interview.
Shouldn't have brought those sample beers.
There's beers involved. You guys you brought this one, the Dank Pulp Daddy. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think it's one of the first of its kind in this area. We tried a couple of terpene beers. I think a lot of people around here would know the original Pulp Daddy. It's our number one beer. Yeah. 8% New England style IPA. This is the same base recipe, just loaded up with terpenes, which are derived from the Pineapple Express strain of weed. So it's got a nice little dank flavor to it and aroma. Doesn't deviate too far from the original Pulp Daddy, but you definitely get that twist on the beginning and the end when you take a sip.
Do you see this, like combining terpenes or combining cannabis with beer, as something that as cannabis becomes more prevalent in the country, becomes more legal, this is something that people are going to want more?
Yeah, I think we'll get there. We use the terpenes because there are a lot of hurdles to get over combining the two with THC and alcohol. There's no CBD or THC in this beer. It's strictly flavor and aroma. Right. So I think as regulations maybe loosen up a little bit around it, you might see a lot more of that, that combination happening.
As far as like beer trends going on in the industry now what's your official title at Greater Good?
Oh, it changes. Right now I'm a brand activation and field marketing. So you see me out in the field in our new territories, but also all around Worcester here. So that's why I'm working with John on Brew, and that's why I'm here with you.
Brand activation?
Yeah, that's spreading the good word about Greater Good.
Remember when they were just called managers?
Yeah, well, I'm a manager of those two things. Okay, so, all right. Haven't deviated too far.
So, as someone in the industry, what are some of like the trends you're seeing now? I know, there's like the people who love the New England style IPAs, the West Coast IPAs, there's stout people, there's lager people. What do you see with the beer industry heading towards as far as trends?
Everybody knows that New England IPA really dominated the last few years. And I don't think we're really seeing a shift in, that happening right now, that people still love them, but people are branching out to other more traditional styles. Luckily for Greater Good, one of the styles that is actually growing the most is imperial beers, which is awesome. Anything that's like 8% and up is what we do. That's our wheelhouse. We are trademarked America's only all imperial brewing company.
Now, what makes it an imperial beer for those who don't?
It's high ABV. So anything that's, traditionally higher. We draw the line at 8%, which is, it's funny when we talk around the brewery, we're like, oh, that one's only 8%. So that's at the low end for us, and people are like, some people have never even tried to have an 8% beer, but we do everything from 8 up to 12 plus in our core styles, and IPAs, stouts, those are some traditionally higher ABV beers just naturally, but we've really gone outside the box this year. Our CEO Colleen, when she came on board last year, she was like, it'd be really cool if we could kind of start being the authority on all styles imperial, not just the ones that people do imperial already. So you'll see lagers at 8%, which is something that's almost unheard of. We have a blonde ale, a cold IPA, which is a lagered IPA, and even our sours, which are traditionally like 4 or 5%, are up. So
what are some beers out there, maybe not from Greater Good, that you have noticed lately that you really like?
I've been sampling a lot of I like to go to a lot of the Worcester places. I mean, it's growing into such a great craft beer hub for New England. When we launched here and we chose the spot in 2017, opened in 2018, it was Wormtown was the big one. So props to those guys. Since then, we got several more that have opened up. So definitely, I'm happy to see that a few of them are here on the list with Wormtown, Redemption Rock. Those guys are going to be there. I've always been a fan of the high ABV beers just like our founder, Paul. So, I mean, I grew up with the Dogfish Heads and that kind of stuff, 60, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely been around the block a couple times when it comes to craft beer. But
So what would you like? I'm someone who, and it's just my palate just gravitates like this. In the wintertime, I go towards the stouts, the darker beers, the malty stuff. And in the summer, as it gets hotter, I look for the lighter stuff, not so much with alcohol, but like a Kolsch, a lager, a pale ale, something like that. Is there something as we get into spring here and summer that you could recommend? Maybe from Greater Good, and maybe there's another one.
Yeah, no, we've got the big summer coming back again this year, which isn't going to be super light drinking, but it's a great summer beer that'll be across our whole distribution footprint. 8% pineapple IPA, so an easy sipper, nice and fruity for the beach or anywhere else really. You'll find
really
it
anywhere.
Anywhere you can drink it.
Anywhere.
And people would drink it year round too, but I mean, you can imagine it absolutely crushes in the summer.
Right.
That's a huge one for us. And like I just said a couple minutes ago, we're experimenting with some lighter drinking, high ABV options like the lager and the sours. We have a blueberry lemonade sour that comes back every summer.
Very good.
Did great last year. And then we even have a cotton candy grape sour coming out later in the year. So some cool things to look forward to as the weather turns around.
Nice. Now, everybody can sample Greater Good stuff. And how many breweries are going to be at Brew this year? Almost 80?
Wow.
From all over. All right, who's going to be there for food?
I'd be remiss without saying the Dogfather, but we've got Mrs. Marconi's Ice Cream.
Oh, my.
E.T.'s Smokehouse.
Yes.
Our good friends, the Pretzel Company. That does
nice.
the pretzel necklaces.
The pretzel necklaces.
Yeah. And in between, we've got 2 sessions, entertainment lined up, carnival games, music. Pete Towler, local guy. Tony Garcia, another local.
Oh, yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Psyched to have them on board.
Now, I can call you an expert when it comes to beer. I think I can. How long have you been working in the industry?
Almost 10 years now.
Okay, so you're definitely earned the expert badge. This is a beer I have that Adam Webster and myself have taste tested. It came out around the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl, and it's Hormel, and I forget the brewery that they collaborated with, but it's the chili cheese beer. And
it's pretty intimidating looking.
Yeah, I would you take a moment and maybe take a sip of that and
I will. Yeah,
give me your expert opinion on it.
It says it pairs well with recliners, gaming, and late night snack attacks.
Well, I don't want to taint your review here. I'll tell you afterwards what we thought.
Oh, it's a nice light color.
It's pretty light.
No chili falling out of it. It kind of smells like chili.
You're right, chili and cheese, which is amazing. Which is amazing.
Wild.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Now listen. Before you say anything, you can say anything you want because Adam and I ripped this on the air. We were just like, this is gross.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they were going for something super crazy tasty, right? Like it tastes like chili. It tastes like chili and cheese.
Yeah, it's like the. Yeah.
So I mean, given the fact that that's what they were going for, they nailed it.
Yeah, does it work?
Not for me.
Yeah, not for me either. Yeah, it doesn't work for me either.
It doesn't work for me, but I think that's what they were looking for.
I was thinking maybe I should try making chili with it, and maybe it would have a better purpose.
Maybe even marinating some meat in it that you're gonna tenderize.
Exactly. Yeah. But this is what Brew Woo is all about.
I could do a 2-ounce sample of that at Brew Woo.
Right.
And then call it a day.
Sample it, find out if you like it. And like you said, later on, when you walk, some people are intimidated. They walk into a packy, there's a wall of beers.
And that's a thing these days. Obviously, you go in and there's coolers after coolers after coolers. And an event like Brew is the perfect time to, try those all out, especially with a lot of those beers being sold around the area.
Yeah, a lot of great local breweries.
Yep.
But there'll be breweries there from all over the country. Take advantage of that. That's this Saturday, 2 sessions. Where can they go to get their tickets online?
Either the box office in person or Ticketmaster online. And I do recommend, you want to save a couple bucks, tickets do go up $10 on day of. So come on down to the DCU Center, get your tickets now, and we'll see you on Saturday the 8th.
I suggest getting a brisket sandwich over at BT's to lay down a foundation.
Especially with 80 breweries.
Yes, yeah. Guys, thank you very much for coming in. Looking forward to seeing you Saturday.
Thanks a ton, Mike.